Hey, 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 welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. And I am the host, Brian, and we've got Brandon merrily typing away there as our co host. And today we are covering whose financial advice do you listen to? Now, Brandon, before we start, I really struggled to get through that intro. I have at least one a week. And for this one, do you remember the podcast we done a couple of episodes ago where you're talking about the intros and it's always the same? I went, hey, 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 and I literally went to start laughing. I was like, so yeah, managed to keep it together and then just tell you all about it anyway.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're good, able to keep it together. That's a very important matter. Um,
It's an
and
improvement.
we, we also, I want to note that we are not financial advisors. We do not give financial advice. Anything we say is just for entertainment uses only, and all of that good content that just don't listen to internet people because do your own research because we're not held liable for your dumb mistakes. And so
I love that. So with you, and you can basically say that in like every episode, with you around, I am never getting sued. So this is awesome.
well, obviously, I don't know your laws, and they're also saying like there people say that in their clauses, and people are being sued left and right. So
Hmm.
who knows? Obviously, like we are just things. I can only say what I've done. I can't speak for everyone. So that's why we always say like we don't even have a case study on the Toro arbitrage because I haven't done it, and I wanted to preface that. So that's yeah. And if you haven't watched that episode, that was a pretty good episode. Actually, it was a great episode. You should definitely go subscribe to the channel and watch that episode also because it's pretty neat little uh, side hustle, one could say. But to get back to financial advice and who we listen to and what groups we're part of and that sort of thing, do you have any ones off the top of your head that you can name off?
Okay, so financial people I listen to. So
Or groups or methods?
so financial people I listen to. He's sat there drinking coffee in a pink cup, which is slightly concerning, but he's there. So or tea. But yeah, obviously I listen to yourself. Obviously, I've watched you over the last few years, and this isn't just like a plug for you. It's like I've watched you for the last few years. I've gone through your course, and obviously some of the stuff in there, mate, is gold. It's absolutely gold, especially from a financial management side of things. And not getting yourself in like over leverage was the term you used in an early
Yeah.
podcast. I think that's absolutely incredible. Then from there, in terms of financial people, there's so many different methods. There's the tight ass method. There's
What's that?
the tight ass method where don't spend anything.
Oh, that's me.
To a degree, it is, but like people go like ridiculous to it,
Yeah, yeah.
like going and shopping and buying coupons just to get more money off, and like
Right.
there's with financial advice, with financial gurus and methods. Again, I think it goes back to again the business statement that I made in a podcast, not last one, the one before, about lifestyle. Like
Mhm.
you've got to balance it out, whether it is like whether you want to be the frugal guy who wears the same color top every single day and it probably costs them $3 per top and that's it, and like all those decisions and everything's removed. If you want to be that type of guy, then that's absolutely fine if it suits you. If not, then you've got to look at different other methods. Like some people love, like you love to go out for food, like you love to go out for dinner. Like your stories are always you're eating somewhere and the food always just looks amazing. So you are the frugal guy, but yet you've got a lifestyle as well. So
Right.
there's differences. Like I've got a friend and I absolutely love him to bits, but he is very much like, for instance, like the Dave Ramsey, like count the pennies and the pound look after themselves type scenario. And sometimes I look at it and go, that's absolutely fantastic. You'll never be in debt. I was like, but you enjoying things.
Right.
And it's getting that balance, I find, that is probably the hardest thing when it comes to finances.
Yeah,
That's my
I
two
definitely
pence.
agree. And I am like you said, I like I don't go out to I don't spend money on like materialistic things. I like you said, I'm the guy who wears the same top all the time and wears the same like clothes, and I just grab something and put it on. and I don't go shopping because I don't have to worry about what I want to wear or what it looks like, because that's one less thing I have to think about. And
Mm.
if it's one thing less off my mind of what am I going to wear today or what fits or whatever, then that's that extra energy that is that brain power that's not being used for that goes towards business. I eat the same food all the time, like eggs in the morning, like boom, already done. Chicken rice or chicken vegetables for the afternoon. So it's like very, very easy. It's like the same three meals all the time. I enjoy it, and it's just less to think about. So that's like more of a mindset trek, I guess, versus anything because it's the same stuff. But as far as what I spend money on, it is those experiences with my wife or going on vacation with my wife, because I find that to be more valuable than the actual piece of article of clothing or the um, newest, latest car or whatever it is. That's why I still don't have a Tesla, so I'm going to win a Tesla.
Let someone
So
else pay for it.
exactly, and so and then make money from it. And we'll go into detail more about that, about the 90-day cash flow challenge, which we have a update on that in a few episodes. So definitely check that out. But because it's been going really, really well. But as far as types of people I listen to, you mentioned Dave Ramsey. I don't follow his advice. He talks about not getting credit cards. I think that if you are if you're someone who's very struggling, where you have a bunch of credit card debt and you have a bunch of um, just you're not good like you're not in a good financial situation. I think the very basic stuff he's very good at. Like you should not use your credit cards if you leave a balance every single time,
Mm.
because you're paying 20-25%, and that is like a huge return for the banks, and that is a very shitty situation for anyone else. And
Mm.
so I mean, if you look at the power of compounding, and at 25%, that's just like crazy. And so, I mean, just to give you an example, we use a line of credit. I think it's 10%. Actually, it's like 10.8%. I used $10,000 of it, and I think every day I was paying $4. So every day I had an extra $4 was being spent on my credit card. So and of just interest to the bank. So you can only imagine what double that is. So $8. And then obviously as that if you don't pay that down, it just compounds into $9 the next day because it's growing exponentially. So it's compound interest. And you know what Albert Einstein, well, he probably didn't say this. I think if we fact checked it, people would say he didn't say this, but it's like ninth wonder of the world. And so that's why we are so focused on recurring income and buying assets, is because compound interest is the ninth wonder of the world of how rapidly money grows.
Mm.
And so I don't really listen to go back. That's why I really don't listen to Dave Ramsey, because he gets you to ground zero. But if you want to go, scale in wealth and net worth and status, then he's not the person to listen to. And so people there, I mean, I can't name of any people off the top of my head because I follow Brandon Turner if you want to learn about real estate and bigger pockets and that sort of thing. But there's levels to the game, and so it's once you have your debt paid off and all your credit cards paid off and you're getting travel points and you're paying those off every single month, you can pretty much travel for free, live the financial freedom style, start investing in real estate to buy back your time, because with time assets grow, plus it increases cash flow. So I try and I learn from a wide variety of people. So like the FIRE method is where you're people that believe in being financially free and retiring early, and then they have different kind of frameworks that you should fall into. Like you should build this much, you should invest this much to have this much passive income a year. At this age, you should have this much saved. So like there's a roadmap in a way. There's so many different, like I think we said on the last podcast, there's so many ways to make money. There's so many ways to retire, and there's so many ways to be financially secure in a direction, then but the biggest thing is just making sure that you don't accumulate a lot of debt, because if you do, sorry, bad debt, because if you do, you're going to be struggle all your life, unless you go by the method like, say, Robert Kiyosaki, who believes in having a lot of good debt, which is goes hand in hand with obviously real estate, leveraging business, leveraging stocks. So all these different people have great advice. It's just using it, and you said, in a way that surrounds your business surrounds your lifestyle. So build your financial situation, build your business around your lifestyle, because that's what's going to be make you the most happy and allow you to actually live the life that you want versus living it on someone else's terms.
I think that's the biggest thing, and it's like there's so many different ways to do it. And obviously, you mentioned Robert Kiyosaki, obviously the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that I think that the way that sort of scenario is played out is like employee to self-employed to bit like business owner, and then leveraging the business to then buy assets, and leveraging the business income to then go get loans to buy more assets, and all that type of thing. It can be very lucrative, but you've got to play a clever game as well. Like, and I've used the term in this one and another one. You talk about being over leveraged. So, like, if things go downhill, if say like two tenants come out or a business isn't doing well, like because you can use a business to buy businesses, which then effectively buys more cash flow,
Right.
and all those different type of things. But you're very clever in terms of like, you make sure if one or two businesses are having a bad month, or like no tenants in there for a couple of months, you are not in a position where you cannot pay those bills. So you
Right.
always make sure that you're not over leveraged, which is a clever way of doing for instance, the Kawasaki method, where like you just obviously leverage other things to buy more things. So you've got to play clever as well as follow these methods and do what you feel's right for you and your family. And if it is the don't use credit cards and like scale at your own or grow at your own pace when like you're all goddamn ready, okay, you might make it when you're 75, and that's great.
Right.
But that's your choice, and
Right.
don't feel any pressure to go any other way. The only thing I'd say is just make sure you make recurring income.
Yeah, recurring income. I mean, that's how, if you think about it, like everything is recurring. Your bills, from your insurance to your phone to your internet, so your mortgage for 30 years. And even then, you're paying property tax, at least in the United States. And so it's always recurring. So why wouldn't you grow a business that's not recurring, or like in general? Because one, what it does is, you talk about being over leveraged. So if you have 10 units, let's just say, and one tenant falls off, you're going to have to come up with the extra money. And if the sum of your units don't like oversee that and is able to absorb that cost, then that's going to come out of your pocket. Essentially, it all comes out of your pocket. But you want to make sure that you're having other people pay down those mortgages, just like you want to make sure that you have your businesses that are taking up your time be able to pay for your lifestyle. And that's why we believe in creating recurring income, because there gets to a certain point that the business is the one creating the cash flow, and you can take yourself out of the business, and now you're working on the business instead of in the business. And so in doing so, you're able to have enough money to then buy assets, or to protect your over leveraged assets, because you have enough cushion from your recurring income business. And it creates stability, and it creates a steady stream to protect any assets that you have that are long term. And so you just keep using that cash flow in your business to buy more income producing assets, and you protect your downside. So like, people will buy bonds, even though the interest rate is very, very low. It's obviously packed by the government. So in doing so, if you have enough bonds to cover your backside or your risk, then you really don't have any means to worry. And there's other things, like we can get into insurance, and like you said, buying businesses. So there's all sorts of ways that you can protect your downside, especially in troubling times like this.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So basically, in summary, it's decide what's right for you. So go out and listen to snippets of everyone's advice, and then go down the rabbit hole of something that you feel will fit your lifestyle, your mindset, and your way of becoming financially free. As Brandon always says in all podcast, there's no guarantees in life, and that's one that makes it interesting, but two, just make sure you manage your risk as well.
I think that's a grand idea.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much for tuning into today's Passive Buddies podcast, and we will see you on the next episode.
Peace.